I need help, y'all. The police ain't getting here fast enough. Like we on the corner of Martin Luther King.
Damon Mays streamed live on Facebook as he and his sister recovered their 12-year-old niece from this busy Dallas intersection in December.
She looked like she had been drugged.
This is who she was actually with.
This woman, who Mays confronted on camera,
you over here selling my niece,
was arrested and charged for forcing the 12-year-old into commercial sex acts and keeping the money.
Had we not got that tip from Facebook, we could be getting a call saying she was dead.
The child had been missing for 4 days. Mays said Dallas police did not treat their case with urgency.
We let them know she had seizures. We let them know that she had mental issues, and they still didn't want to sound the alarm.
So they took matters into their own hands, made their own flyers, and posted them to social media.
If we put it on Facebook and in a matter of next 24 hours after we posted it, we had a lead. Just imagine if they would have went ahead and put an alert out. She may not even had to go through the things she endured.
Cases like this one got me asking questions about how police departments in our area respond if you report your child missing. And what I found is that the way a police department labels your child is important. For Dallas police, the label of critical missing is crucial.
Critical missing child is something that we actually are on all day. It's a 24-hour operation.
Katrina Shedd is the assistant chief over investigations for the Dallas Police Department.
We actually are actively involved in actually driving around and doing a lot of the field work that we probably wouldn't do on a missing child.
DPD defines a critical missing child as either younger than 10 years old, having a mental or physical disability, or as a child police believe is in danger.
They have to prove that you've been abducted. That is absolutely absurd and crazy.
And because they couldn't do that, their niece is 12 and she had left home before, they say their case was written off.
If you have reported them as running away from home before, they're surely not treated as an emergency.
I spent months requesting and poring over the police policies for more than 20 departments in North Texas. And from city to city, the response to the report of a missing child can be very different. Some departments have their own standards for when a child is missing and, quote, at risk. And almost all of them considered how young the child is. But how young is young enough to warrant an active search? That depends on the city. Many cities, like Frisco, Grapevine, and Denton, have policies that label a child 13 or younger as unusual circumstances. Fort Worth ups the investigation if the child is younger than 12. In Plano, they have to be younger than 11. And in all policies, the response from police depends on whether the officer believes the child left on their own and if they believe the child is in danger. In fact, Garland and Dallas policies state that officers may not conduct a continuous search for a young child if the child is, quote, mature beyond their chronological age or is a frequent runaway.
A missing child is a missing child regardless of how they went missing.
John Bischoff works for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC.
We've seen our reports increasing over the past 10 years.
One of the initiatives NCMEC is known for is the creation and distribution of flyers like these to help find missing kids.
Without that image, what are we putting out to the public?
The Mays asked that same question in their case.
They never asked for her photo. How you gonna find her?
But Texas law does not list getting a photo as a requirement for investigating a missing child, and less than half of the policies I reviewed listed getting a photo of a missing child as a required step in the investigation. What nearly every policy did have, a different, often lesser standard for searching for children labeled runaways, kids they've determined left on their own and are not assumed to be in danger just because they're missing. Some department policies don't even require officers to take reports of so-called runaways in person.
We don't use the term runaway anymore.
After DPD received criticism for how it handled a different high-profile case of a teen who'd been labeled a frequent runaway, the department changed its policy to change its label for missing kids, even kids who left on their own, in October of 2023.
When we say younger than 18, this is a missing child.
I got a copy of this memo that was sent out to DPD officers announcing this change with updated labels and steps for investigating missing people. There are 3 steps listed for investigating a missing child, formerly known as a runaway. 4 steps for children DPD labels high risk for human trafficking or exploitation. And then there's the critical missing label, which has 14 steps, the only label that requires officers to get a photo of the victim. Did it change the way that you respond to the reports of someone who's under 18 who may not be in that critical bucket?
It did not. I think we have always aggressively responded to a missing child report.
In 2023, 93% of the reports NCMEC received of missing children were children who had run away. 74% of them were children 15 and older, past the age that would trigger an emergency response from many departments in our area.
They face a great deal of unfortunate circumstances while they're missing. How are they surviving? How are they getting money?
Dallas police received reports of more than 1,300 missing children from January 1st through the first week of November last year. And on November 7th, 135 of those kids were still missing. The department posts photos and descriptions of critical missing children on its blog. Last year, the department posted a total of 7. They were all found. I've spoken with many families who say, like the Mays, they were never asked for a photo of their child when they reported them missing, and instead had to make homemade flyers like this one. And in many cases say these homemade flyers actually led to their children being recovered. If you would like to learn more about how your local department labels and investigates missing child cases or so-called runaway cases, we have actually built this interactive map based on the general orders we reviewed. You can find it right now on this story on our website. In North Texas, I'm Morgan Young.